Hi, it's Mike. I'm going to do a video. Again, I'm doing like a digital diary so I can record a lot of the experiences that I've had throughout the last 7.5 years of filming UFOs and paranormal activity. So, for the last 2 years, I have had a reoccurring dream that I started to think was a little bit more than a dream. One thing that happens to me is if I'm dreaming, and this just started happening about 2 years ago, and it happens a couple times a week. Say hypothetically I'm in the middle of a dream and dreams are crazy and I'm driving a racing car. To give an example, what happens to me, just play along. I'm driving this racing car and all of a sudden I start feeling cold. Out of nowhere, I can sense the temperature around me being considerably cold out of nowhere, and I'm in this middle of a dream. I could be at a fair and I could feel this. I could be in a deep sleep with no dream and feel it. I could be driving a race car. It doesn't matter if I'm dreaming or not. I feel this level of coldness. After that, I hear a low vibrational noise or frequency. It goes like this. Kind of comes, goes away, comes, goes away, comes in waves. Then after that, I'll hear a little bit of a whistling noise. The low vibrational frequency dissipates into the whistle. And then from there, I can see my consciousness escape my body. So I'm looking down at my body at my bed at this point, and I go straight up. The second I get to the ceiling or roof, blinders are on, and all I can see is shadows of entities or humans or something around me. I don't know who they are, but there's something around me, and I'm no longer here. That went on for a year, and then I got a fan. Right there. That's kind of weird and creepy, but there you go. A little fan that's close to my face and head. And of course, these reoccurring dream or out-of-body experience kept happening, still does to this day. Only this time when I turned the fan on, the second day I had it, I believe, I was in a deep sleep. I felt cold. So when I feel really cold, I already know what's going on. So I'm aware that I'm sleeping. I'm aware that I'm cold. And I'm aware that this low vibration frequency is going to start to happen soon. I know it's coming. I just know it's coming. And I say there's nothing I can do about it. And it does the... Only this time, when I had the fan, when the low vibration frequency came from wherever, it mechanically and electrically interacted with the fan as it was spinning. And I could hear the fan. I'm still sleeping, by the way. This is what's really crazy, is that I'm totally aware, but I'm sleeping. I can't see, but I can hear, and I have other senses. And the fan starts to mechanically and electrically malfunction. So when a low vibration frequency comes down, all of a sudden the fan goes, zzz, then it goes around in a circle again, and it has a normal, regular fan noise, like that. And then the low vibrational frequency comes down, and the fan will go, zzz, then it does it again, again, again. I mean, it's a violent noise. It's not fun, and that is something I could hear all the time now since I have this fan. So now this happened the last year, and I just start saying to myself, this is crazy. This is happening at least twice a week, sometimes 3 times a week, 4 times a week for 2 years. And if this is just a dream, why is my fan interacting with this? You see what I'm saying? Like, why is my fan sound like it's malfunctioning all the time? And it is the fan. I know it is. I can hear it. When I turn the fan off and don't use it for the night, like 2 weeks, that I have that same physical reaction. There is no mechanical or electrical zzz, none of that exists. It only exists when the fan is on and I'm sleeping. Also, when I go through those stages now, so now I feel cold, I hear the low vibrational frequency, the fan violently sputters and makes crazy electrical and mechanical noises. And then from there, you hear a little bit of the whistling noise. And then there's a sensation, I didn't describe this, I apologize, of just gravity or something pulling me up. It's just pulling me up. It's just ripping me. And it's my consciousness that's being pulled out. It's not my body. And I thought about that. I'm like, interesting, because I always believe that consciousness is fundamental and physical matter is not, based on the double slit experiment. Based on my experiences, I learned that we probabilistically 99% chance live in a simulated reality. And I've got confirmation on that. That's another whole story. I could share that with you another time. So it would make sense that these entities, if they know that you really believe that consciousness and is really what this is all about, and the physical product and material is only manifested when consciousness they are observing it or doing a measurement, or if consciousness built a camera or some sort of detecting device to take a picture or video record something or detect something. A conscious entity has to create that product, that camera. Someone conscious had to make it, right? So again, it has to do with consciousness. That's what the double slit experiment talks about. If you're not there to observe it with no detecting device, particles don't act like particles. They're just probability distributions for potential of what can happen in the future. Knowing that, and not just knowing it, but believing it and understanding that with your heart, frees you from a lot of other things that you think you're limited to. So if they wanted to abduct me, aliens, entities, whoever, they wouldn't need to ever take my body, because they know that I believe that consciousness is fundamental and I'm not my body. I'm more than my body. That's why there are some people that they get abducted and they don't even realize their body's with them. But most of the time, it is their body. Their whole body has to be abducted. 99% of the time, the body's being abducted too. But 1% of the time, it can be just your consciousness. And that's because those people understand the fabric of the reality better than others. They don't need to ever take my body, because they know already with my consciousness where it comes from, the same place these entities come from, by the way. They know what my belief system is. It's not necessary. So when I'm being pulled up, I'm separating myself from my body. I can see myself. And it's a very strong magnetic pull, a force that's driving me up. It's incredible. And then the blinders go on. So this happens all the time. Um, Last week, I, for the first time ever, was able to wake up while I was cold, while I was hearing the low vibrational frequency coming, and while the fan was really making these sporadic, malfunctional noises. I was able to wake up. And I've never been able to do that before. I couldn't believe I was up. I was actually. And by the way, when I'm up there and I go past my ceiling and all of a sudden everything goes dark, I can see shadows. But there is never any sense of my hands, face, hair, feet, nothing. It's just, I'm there. Everything down there with my body, I have nothing to do with. So there's no sense of body. The only time I know I'm done with all this is when I can feel my sheets, I can feel my hands, I can feel my fingers. That's when I know I'm back. During my I'm up there is no sense of body whatsoever. Just want to make that clarity. Okay. So I'm up. I wake up. I'm feeling my sheets. I'm like, okay, I know I'm awake now, definitely, because I have no sense of that when I'm being pulled up somewhere. I look to see the fan over there. I can't. It's too dark. The moon is half lit now in South Florida, and I could see some light coming through my window shades. And I have a night light back here where my desk is and the computer is. I can see some light, not a lot. As I wake, I can hear the fan making unbelievably crazy, scary noises. I look up. Low vibration frequency comes down, and I can see a line that is darker than the darkness of my room coming from the ceiling down. As that line comes down, like water lowering, but it's a dark line. It's not light. It's like they know, instead of a light emitting diode, it's like a dark emitting diode. It's like they're using some sort of dark matter, maybe energy, I don't know, but it's darker than the room and the darkness of my room. So I can see it's like water coming down. You know, you see this line, like a wave. The second that got to the same height as that fan, that low vibration frequency, that's when the fan started going. Another one came down. Goes by the fan, goes to the floor. Another one, goes to the floor. Another one. This time it's slower. This is like the fourth one. And I'm terrified because this is coming from a third party. It's coming from somewhere else that's outside above my roof somewhere. Coming down. I can see it. The fourth one comes down. Slow this time, as if somebody slowed down the wave. Slow. I'm looking at it, and I'm just like, oh my God. I was terrified. I'm being honest. I was absolutely scared. Slows down. Goes to the floor. The fifth one comes down. I'm like, oh my God. It stops. Goes back up and leaves. So after 2 years of this, and then the fan came in the last year, and then now from last week, there is no doubt in my mind now, and that's why I'm finally sharing this. I mean, I don't know what's going to happen next. We'll see. That this is coming from somewhere else, and I'm going out of my body somewhere else. And this type of electromagnetic frequency or whatever's being pushed at me at night at anywhere between 2 a.m. to 4:30 a.m. is the range. It's coming from above, and it's coming from a third party. I'm not bragging about this. I don't think this is something that's wonderful and excellent. Sometimes I have amazing experiences when I'm up there, yes, and I'm flying around doing things, but I can't ever see anything. And other times where my consciousness is very still. I don't want to get into details about that, but I just want to let you know that this was not all in my head, and it is coming from somewhere in this reality. I do have anxiety now when I sleep. Thank you for listening. Again, I don't want anyone to ever believe me. I'm just sharing with you my experience and informing. Please don't believe me.